Joining us now to talk more about this is Texas Congressman Jodey Arrington, back with us on the show. Congressman, good to see you again.
Hey, Rob, good to be with you.
I know you led a delegation from Texas down to the border just recently. You guys are doing the job that we should be doing, but we are really not allowed to go down there. There's a media blackout that's still in place at most of these locations. What'd you see?
Well, they don't want you to know what's going on. They may deny that there's a crisis, but the facts will tell you a different story, and so will the local stakeholders here in the border communities. We talked to local landowners who've never seen the deluge of people trespassing, property damage, people actually dead on their property. All the metrics you can imagine are just off the chart. The numbers are mind-boggling. Over 100,000 in February. That's without counting the 1,000 getaways that people estimate. These facilities, Rob, are just teeming with people. They're busting at the seams. I was at a facility that this is one of the refugee resettlement facilities that are operated by Health and Human Services, mostly 17-year-old boys. $1,000 a day.
My goodness.
They're provided 3 meals, recreation, health care, services, social services, the likes of which many of the citizens of our country don't see. And then they get a plane ticket anywhere in the country they want to go. It may be with a relative, it may not be. Buddy, this is a disaster. It's unmitigated. It is unprecedented. And the Biden folks, I think, have no political will whatsoever, no plans to stop it. And they're adding insult to injury by putting an open borders advocate in Kamala Harris as the chief border czar.
Well, I'll ask you about that. By the way, just quickly, you've been in Texas all your life. You said there's no precedent for this. Is this the worst you've ever seen?
It's the worst we've ever seen in Texas. If you talk to landowners, if you talk to local and state law enforcement officers, if you talk to community leaders, healthcare educators, they'll all tell you they've never seen anything like it. And I'm telling you, we drove around, you could see folks crossing the border. All of them had children because they know the children really are being used as passports to get here, as pawns by the drug cartel. So yes, the lines, the processing facilities, you've never seen anything like it. And the folks here who have experience along the border, they are in complete despair and feel totally abandoned by their federal government.
Congressman, you brought up Kamala Harris, the vice president appointed to run the show down there, like Vice President Mike Pence was when it came to the coronavirus way back in March of 2020. How confident? I mean, we haven't even heard from her. She hasn't even mentioned the crisis. She hasn't held a press conference. How confident are you in her ability to solve the problem down there? Does she have any interest in solving the problem? Sorry, the crisis.
Well, no, in 19, when we saw the last surge of illegal immigrants crossing our border, she said it was a distraction from the real issues. She called the enforcement of immigration laws by ICE officials and Border Patrol agents as a reign of terror. She raised her hand and said, I want to decriminalize border crossings, and I want to provide Medicare. I want to cut into a safety net program for seniors, which is, by the way, going to be insolvent because it's broke like our country at $30 trillion in debt. But she wants to provide additional incentives to welcome people into this country illegally, cutting the line in front of millions of people. So no, she's not credible. She wasn't before. She's an open borders advocate. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship. This is a joke. We are a joke to the rest of the world watching this. The chief law enforcement officer is our president. That is his constitutional duty. Article 2, Section 3, powers of the president, faithfully execute the laws of the land. This guy has no regard for the rule of law, and he's trampling the Constitution. This is more than humanitarian, more than safety, more than health crisis. It is a constitutional crisis because the first and most important job of the president is to provide for the common defense and the public, the general welfare of the public. None of this is happening, and it's clear if they came to the border, there's no way they could walk away without that same conclusion.
Congressman, we're out of time. A Marist poll came out a couple days ago that said the president's approval rating when it comes to his handling of the border is now at 34%. So maybe it was at 60% a few weeks ago. So maybe the American people are finally starting to catch on. But I appreciate you keeping us up to date with everything that's going on down there. Again, there is a media blackout, and a report came out a day ago, 18 holes that were never completed in Texas alone in the border wall. 18. So 18 different spots for people to just saunter into the United States. Terrible to see.
Another physical manifestation of the open border policies of this president. Thank you for covering this, Rob.
Yeah.
God bless.
It's our pleasure. Come back and see us. That's Congressman Jodey Arrington of the great state of Texas. Thank you, Congressman. Coming up.